Today I messed up by trying to kidnap some kids. So, a friend of mine, call her Shauna, has 5 kids. Shauna's a stay-at-home mom and homeschools all of the ones old enough for school. Her kids are like 8, 6, 5, 3, and 2, I think. Shauna and I met through a mutual friend. They used to be roommates and still get together for a monthly poker game. I got invited and Shauna and her husband and I became tight and we've played poker a bunch and the two of them have come over to my house for some parties. I say all of that to say I've never hung out with them and their kids, or more importantly, I've never met their kids. Last time we had a party at my house, about 3 months ago, pre-COVID-19, Shauna told me she's been worried about something. One thing she's been trying to teach her kids is don't talk to strangers, but is worried about whether it's taking or not. The kids are apparently very social and like talking to people. She asked me if I'd be willing to drive by her house when the kids are outside and she would have stepped inside right before I get there. It took a lot of convincing because I thought it was kinda weird. Finally, COVID is kinda lightening up, so I'm starting to get back out in the world. So the other day Shauna texted me saying the kids are outside. My first response was, that's goddamn creepy. My second response was, I'll be there in 10 minutes. I stopped just around the corner from the house, texted Shauna, she confirmed and stepped in the house. I proceeded to go around the corner and drive up to the house slowly. The kids were playing in the front yard together. I rolled my window down and said something to the effect of, "Hey, who wants some candy?" One of the kids heard me and was like, "Yeah." The oldest basically jumped in front of the one who wanted to come get the candy and said something to get him to run inside, probably go get mom. The oldest kid turned around and screamed at me, "We don't talk to strangers." I told him I just wanted to give him some candy. Right about that time, I got some flashing lights in my rearview mirror. Damn. The officer came up to my car and was like, "What's going on? How do I explain I'm pretending to kidnap my friend's kids?" I still hadn't seen Shauna and was getting a little worried. Finally, I see her come tearing out of the house with the kid who went inside in her arm. Kid was crying his eyes out, which I later found out was what distracted her. She came running out yelling, "It's okay." She explained the convoluted story as only a mother could. I really don't know any way I could have reasonably explained what was happening. I told her later this is exactly what I was worried about. Too long. Didn't read. Friend wanted to teach her kids a lesson. Cop thought I was a creepy kidnapper. Took friend way too long to come to my defense. Today I messed up by eating the hottest peppers I could find while having no sense of taste or smell due to COVID. My screw-up happened 3 days ago and I've just now recovered enough to relive it. I got COVID for the second time over the weekend and by Monday I had lost all sensation of taste and smell. At the peak of the pandemic I joked with my brother-in-law about running a hot pepper gauntlet if I ever lost my sense of taste and smell from COVID because I heard you could handle spicy things. Mind you, I've always loved spicy things, but habaneros are usually the hottest I can go. So I started with those, because why not? And nothing. So I thought, let's just jump right into one called the Death Spiral, which is hotter than a ghost pepper but not as hot as a Carolina Reaper. This is the moment where I think I can pinpoint where my screw-up happened. Nothing. No taste, no spice. So I immediately threw 2 Carolina Reaper peppers down, followed by about 10 to 15 pieces of habaneros and Death Spiral peppers. About halfway through, my body started to retaliate. I was sweating. I was numb, I felt like I was going to die. But the burn wasn't there. Until it was. It's hard to describe. Anyway, I suffered through the night with awful indigestion and took antacids to try to calm it. I was miserable. I didn't think it could get any worse, but then the moment came where I had to evacuate them. And my God, the pure fire and rage that my sphincter had was unbearable. It felt like Satan himself was trying to claw his way out of my rectum. I swore I'd shat blood, but there was none. For hours afterwards I swear the fire feeling that came from my exit hatch could have made s'mores for the entire family. I'm still in pain days later. Too long. Didn't read. Lost taste and smell due to COVID, thought it was a good idea to eat the hottest peppers I could find. Paid the price when Satan escaped from my ass. 0 out of 10, would not recommend. Today I messed up by listening to the beat of a song, and not the words. Short and quick one. I had a female friend for a few years. We used to work together. I thought that maybe she liked me, but she would usually make it clear that we were just good friends, and I was fine with that. One day we were hanging out at lunch, and she asked me to listen to this new song she had just heard, and thought about me when she heard it. I listened, and said yeah, it's got a nice beat to it. She looked defeated, and I wasn't sure why. So we just went back to lunch. The song was called I Want to Fuck You by Akon, and it basically talks about wanting to have sex with someone. Yup, I'm an idiot. She must have ended up playing that song for someone else, I guess, because she was pregnant a few months later. Too long. Didn't read. Female friend was interested in me, I had no idea. Today I messed up by self-pleasuring. I'm on vacation with my girlfriend, and last night while I was very drunk we had sex. Luckily I was able to get it up and the sex was amazing. Only problem was I was too drunk to finish, so once my girlfriend was satisfied we called it a night. Today I was very in the mood and decided to go to the bathroom to finish myself off from the night before. I made my girlfriend aware of this because we were joking around and thought it wouldn't be an issue. After finishing and coming back out, my girlfriend took offense to this and says it made her feel like crap because I had to go to the bathroom to please myself because she wasn't good enough. I've tried explaining that I was just too drunk last night and that I'm sorry and shouldn't have done that, but she's still quite mad at me. Any tips on how to make her feel better would be much appreciated. I know I messed up. Too long. Didn't read. I pleasured myself in the bathroom because I was too drunk to finish during sex last night. Now my girlfriend is upset at me.